Wisconsin, this is the perfect sport to do. I mean, we got the ski hills in our backyard. Why not be a tourist in your own backyard and love it all year round?
Good evening and welcome to this edition of Black Nouveau. I'm Joanne Williams. This week, Packers great LeRoy Butler joins us to discuss his new cookbook and the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. We'll visit the 7th Annual Fatherhood Summit and introduce you to the Ebony Ice Ski Club. We still have tickets to give away to the Milwaukee Rep's production of Blues in the Night. But first, next Tuesday is Election Day, and there are some things you need to know to prepare to vote. For this election, you cannot vote for just the party ticket. You have to vote for each of your candidates in each race, one at a time. We're joined now by Neil Albrecht, Executive Director for the City's Election Commission. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, I'm glad you've joined us. Is it busy in your office now?
It is very busy, and there's something heartening in knowing that election officials are busy across the country. It's not just the city of Milwaukee, but obviously we talk to our colleagues across the state and in other cities, and it's a very busy time for elections in the nation right now.
There's a lot of information and a lot of misinformation coming out about elections and how to vote and where to vote and what you have to bring. First of all, do you need a photo ID to vote in the city of Milwaukee?
You don't need a photo ID to vote in the city of Milwaukee or anywhere in the state of Wisconsin. There is a stay on the voter ID law, and it is not in effect for the November 6th election. And it's important for people to know that because you don't want that voter ID to be a deterrent. We don't want someone not to go to their voting site on election day thinking that there is an ID requirement.
When you go to your polling place on election day, what will the ballot look like? Will it be very easy to read or will it be complicated? Are there referenda on the ballot in various areas?
We have a fairly clean ballot for this election, certainly cleaner than it was for the August election. That was a two-sided ballot, lots of contests, lots of political parties. This is a one-sided ballot. It's fairly easy to read. Ballots in the city of Milwaukee are in both English and Spanish to avoid language barriers and to increase access to voting in the city. And I don't think that voters will struggle with this ballot. Historically, there's been straight party voting available on ballots, but that was removed by the legislature. So you will not see that straight party voting contest on your ballot.
So when you look at your ballot, you have to put the line next to the name of the person you want to vote for, not just say I'm going to vote for everybody on the Democratic side or the Republican side.
That's correct. Any candidate that you want to receive a vote, you're going to have to vote for that candidate. And when you draw that line, you don't need to color it in. Just a single pencil line connecting the arrows and your vote for that candidate are going to count.
What about some ID requirements? Do you have to be a resident of the city of Milwaukee? How do you prove that you're a resident? What else is going to be required of you to vote?
Well, if you need to register on election day, and a lot of people will, Milwaukee, the city of Milwaukee has a lot of election day registration activity. We're fortunate we're one of only 9 states in the country that allow voters to register on election day. That has a huge impact on voter turnout. And if you are going to be registering on election day, and the thing to note, if you've had a change of name, if you've had a change of address, or you're a new Wisconsin voter, you're going to need to conduct voter registration on election day. You're going to need to fill out a new voter registration application. You will need to know if you've ever been issued a Wisconsin driver's license, you're going to need to know that driver's license number because you have to record it on your registration form. You're not going to need to show it. You don't have to have it with you, but you have to be able to record that number. And we actually have the phone number for the Department of Transportation available to voters to be able to secure that number. If you've never been issued a Wisconsin driver's license, you can record a state ID number or the last 4 digits of your social security number. That's the first thing. The second is and that's to prove your identity. The second is you have to prove your residence. So you're going to need to have a proof of residence document with you. It has to have your name and current address on it, and that can be a driver's license. It can be a state ID. It can be a utility bill. It can be a bank statement. It can be a check stub. It can be any document issued by a unit of government. So for something like your motor vehicle registration would qualify. As long as you have that document to prove your residence, you're going to be able to register to vote on Election Day.
You used to be able to have someone come to the polls with you and vouch for you. Can you still do that?
No, unfortunately, the legislature removed corroborating witnesses, and they were pretty critical for students because a lot of times students live in roommate situations and the utility bills are only in one person's name or the lease is in one person's name, so we would have roommates corroborate for each other. That has been removed, so they're going to have a proof of residence document with them. The other thing to note is a very recent change is digital images are now acceptable. So if you have gone green and you are getting your utility bills or your bank statements online, you can bring your smartphone or your other digital device and you can show the election inspectors the digital image of those documents instead of having the actual document.
Now that's something very new. Do the election inspectors know that? Are they prepared to have people holding up a smartphone saying, here's the proof that I can vote?
Well, they're as ready as they can be. We have a lot of election inspectors who have never seen a smartphone or used a cell phone. So this is rapidly bringing them into technology. This actually occurred since the August election, so it's very new. And we have communicated this change to our election inspectors, to the chief inspectors, and we've done as much as we can to educate the public as well, so they know that they have this option now for voter registration.
Very quickly, high turnout expected, medium turnout, low turnout, pick one.
High turnout, highest, yeah. We're fortunate, we have, in the 80 percentile range, somewhere around 82% is what we're projecting. That's a lot of voters turning out at voting sites on Election Day.
All right, well, thank you very much, Neil. Neil Albrecht with the City Election Commission, talking about the upcoming election, and no matter who you want to vote for, be sure you vote.
My teacher taught me in half an hour, and I've perfected this hill now, and I'm going down again. I mean, I love this place.
And this place is Cascade Mountain, located in Portage, Wisconsin. The Ebony Ice Ski Club from the Milwaukee area brought people here to learn and have fun outside. The ski club promotes winter sports, skiing, snowboarding, and hiking. The club functions all year round.
We actually started doing snow tubing. We do have a couple members who do cross-country skiing. In the summertime, we go do Saturday morning bike rides. We do camping. We meet at Jazz in the Park.
But skiing is their main love.
We live in Wisconsin. This is the perfect sport to do. I mean, we got the ski hills in our backyard. Why not be a tourist in your own backyard and love it all year round?
Sheila Payton started skiing 30 years ago with a black ski myth that is still prevalent today.
A former co-worker of mine suggested I come skiing with her one day, and I thought, black people don't ski. But she said it's a lot of fun. I was in my 20s at the time. She said, well, the parties are great, you should come. And once I realized that it was going to cost a little money to go, I said, well, I might as well learn how to ski. It keeps you in shape. You enjoy the outdoors. It gives you something to do in the winter, especially in a place like Milwaukee. I mean, you can either sit around and wait for the snow to go away, or you can do things that are enjoyable. And so it gives you an opportunity to get out, to enjoy the outdoors, to be with people that you like, and to just have a good time.
I saw you skiing. Are you new to it or not?
Yeah, this is my first time.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
You
my
look
first
good.
time, and I'm having so much fun.
Why are you doing it?
Because my school, I go to Concordia, and the group I belong to, MSG, we came with the ski club. I just wanted to get the experience of it, just to try it. And I really like it, so I'm going to try it again.
You make it look so easy.
It's fun. It's scary when you're coming down real fast because I can't stop.
I'm really excited to see younger people doing this, because I think one of the things that keeps life interesting is expanding your horizons and thinking about things that you can do that are out of the box.
All right, you guys ready?
The ski club has a Learn to Ski program. Each year they have people from throughout the Milwaukee area participate in a 4-week program that teaches them how to ski. On this day, I was one of those people learning how. Being a newbie, I had to learn some things. Eunice Thomas, president of the Ebony Ice Ski Club, showed me how to pick a ski boot, how to put it on.
Right.
I had to learn how to walk in the boot.
It's like I'm leaning forward.
Right.
Pick a helmet.
Is that the way it's supposed to go?
Pop it. Okay.
Pick skis.
It's usually on your shoulder,
And learn how to carry them.
so you don't hit anybody in the head. We usually find a lot of our members and the learn to ski people by word of mouth and friends and family. Once they're in the skiing and they realize how much fun it is, it's like they found another niche.
Skiing can be expensive. Eunice gave suggestions on ways to cut down on the cost. And one way, bring your lunch.
If you need some ski pants or ski jacket, Goodwill, Value Village, secondhand stores always have abundantly of ski apparel. We all have hats, we all have gloves. We just need a nice pair of long johns and a long pair of wool socks.
And then on to the lessons.
See, we torture you for a little bit, then we give you something easy. To the right, throw the right foot, right edges. Good, stop where you're at. And you guys do this. What's that called? I call that the snowplow.
I can't tip. It's not tipping. Then, voila, me coming down a slope on skis. Even though I fell because I could not stop, it was fun and the surroundings pretty.
It's pretty. And it's a high that you can't buy with anything else. You can't buy this high.
This high that's gotten from skiing down a hill keep people joining Ebony Ice Ski Club.
We actually have a lot of members who actually, they raised their kids and they, did what, the proper thing, get the kids out the house. Now they're back and they want to do something that they want to do in the winter, and they've actually came and learned how to ski with the club.
As we move into November this weekend, remember to set your clocks back 1 hour for daylight saving time. Also remember to check the batteries in your smoke detector. By the way, smoke detectors don't last forever. They have a lifespan of 8 to 10 years, and the newer models like this one have batteries that last the lifetime of the detector, so they don't need replacing. If you need help in checking the batteries or you cannot afford a smoke detector, call the Milwaukee Fire Department's Smoke Detector Hotline. The number is 414-286-8980. 414-286-8980.
We've got to set aside this issue of color and start dealing with the real issue, which is economics.
I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land.
I grew up on the south side. When we marched across the viaduct, we marched to an area where I hung out as a teenager. The African American teenagers in the youth council were terrified. I thought they were wrong. I thought it won't be. It turned out they were right.
If you're a student of Milwaukee history, you may be interested in the March to Kosciuszko, a play that dramatizes Milwaukee's civil rights struggle for fair housing. The play contrasts two families, one Polish, one black, and their concerns during that turbulent time in 1967. It will be performed on Saturday, November 3rd at 8 p.m. at the Basilica of St. Josephat, 2333 South 6th Street. Tickets can be purchased through Urban Anthropology Incorporated. The website is www.urban-anthropology.org. Or you may call this number, 414-271-9417. At the close of the performance, Reuben Harpole and Dr. Peggy Rosga, widow of Father James Grappi, will lead a discussion about those housing marches.
At this year's summit, we're really excited because it's all about men's health.
Men's health dominated the 7th Annual Milwaukee Fatherhood Summit. About 800 dads participated over the course of 2 days in mid-October. For the second year, the summit was co-sponsored by the Social Development Commission and the Milwaukee Fatherhood Initiative. Most of the exhibits and workshops were focused on health issues.
You know, men can be stubborn and, you know, with respect to health, you know, we won't go to the hospital. If nothing else, man, go get that checkup because you never know what will be found.
Us as men are scared of doctors anyway. And then you go through life thinking this is good and that's good, and when you come of age and it's too late, it already took its course, whatever it is. So it's very important that you go in and get yourself checked out periodically when you're supposed to.
I was fine, and all of a sudden this happened, and it was a shock to me. I never started walking until I was 60 years old, and when I started walking at 60 years old, and my grandson was playing football, and I was walking every day, and all of a sudden I quit walking, and then I had the heart failure.
Earlier this year, Beeman received a heart and liver transplant. He is now an advocate for organ donor programs and believes that healthy living habits saved his life.
If I'd have been drinking and smoking, they wouldn't have not even put me on the donors list. Because my heart, my body would have been too messed up in order for it to work.
The summit also addressed some pocketbook issues.
Dealing with child support in Milwaukee is a high rate. People so many behind in arrears and interest, so I knew that I was come here and they would knock off something. Plus give me some information about how to become more involved in my child's life financial-wise. So, and I found the information useful, very useful.
There's conflict with both parents in some cases, and I'm trying my best to, patch up those holes, to be there for my child.
What are you trying to accomplish? And why are you trying to accomplish what you accomplish? What's your desire? What's motivating you to do the type of things that you do when you recognize, a lot of times, we recognize that our behavior is self-destructive.
Alfonso Watkins believes that the impact of slavery is still being felt in the African American community. He moderated a session on environmental issues that affect our mental health.
In many cases, the struggle of being a man in this society and understanding that you have, or the reality is to a certain extent, you have to have a job to provide for your family, and the frustration that many black males go through trying to find a job and maintain a family. And when they lose their job, their total manhood has been shot down because they're not able to provide for their family. So that's a mental health problem.
One of the session attendees talked about his experiences in selling drugs.
Just selling a drug, a narcotic, to his brother or his sister to make ends meet.
You all right, big brother? You ain't out there by yourself, big brother.
But I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong, but I choose not to go that route. Mm-hmm. And I try and stay focused and continue to believe that it's gonna be all right. To strive to get back on my feet, to chase that dollar, as you so eloquently put it. To try and get things back on track. It just seems like it's so hard. Seems like it's so hard.
It is hard, brother. It is, and we have to get to a point we're willing to admit that it's hard.
After doing this for 7 years, you know, I'm a true believer that men, by and large, do care about their role as fathers, and they want to be the best dad they can be. And in some cases, you know, men need help, and that's why we exist, because of the help that they need. And we try to fill that void.
This particular guest started the Lambeau Leap. He's passionate about cooking healthy, and he's the honorary chair of the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. LeRoy Butler is here. Welcome.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Very glad to be here.
You're also a great cook. Are you a fantastic cook?
Yes, I think one makes a fantastic.
Are you a modest cook?
Well, I think for the most part, I'm not scared to take chances with cooking, because I think for the most part, if it looks good, it's supposed to taste good. But I think in this particular cookbook that I have, and we'll talk about the details in a minute, I want guys to say, you know what, I'm not just gonna come home from work and hope my wife has dinner. I'm gonna come home from work and tell her, listen, I got it, and have the confidence to go in there and try it.
Oh, I like that. That's a very good attitude. What's the name of the book?
The name of the book is, my first book was Leaping into the Kitchen for the Lambeau Leap.
Yeah.
The second was LeRoy Butler's Leaping into Your Kitchen Again. If you can read, you can cook.
So is the book as long as the title?
No, and I think for the most part, guys, if you walk into a store and they see a real thick cookbook, they'll bypass it. But this particular book is thin enough that they say, you know what, I may take a chance in doing it and put it right on my counter and follow some of the ingredients. Everything should be fine.
Who taught you to cook?
My mom. My mom was my role model. Growing up African American in the inner city, single family home, all the poverty-stricken statistics you see. At one point, from Jacksonville, Florida, we averaged 38 homicides straight. And when you live in that kind of conditions, you have to learn to be a complete young man, because you never know what can happen out there. And I just remember watching her in the kitchen, how much fun she had, because she was preparing food for 5 kids, and we depended upon that kind of nutrition. And she would take any kind of ingredients and make a meal out of it. And I said, you know what, there's a real role model, not necessarily the guy with the biggest car in the neighborhood.
Now, when she was in the kitchen cooking for the 5 of you, did you pitch in and help, or did you sit back at the table saying, Mama, where's dinner?
Well, a combination of both, because I learned if you cook, you get a chance to eat first. And I also learned at 11 years old, I was cooking dinner for the whole family. My mom picked up her 3rd job. You know, she used to get on the bus at 3 in the morning to catch another bus just to carpool with another young lady to get to work. I had to wake wake the kids up, look, food is ready, you know, and I was a part of that. I also had to wash the dishes too, but it was fun because I didn't want it to be dependent upon. I didn't want, if one day I do get lucky enough to be married, I didn't want her to feel like she had to do all the work.
I know a lot of our viewers want to know, besides writing cookbooks and being the honorary chairperson for the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign, you must be doing a lot of other things. What are you doing with your life after football?
You know, with me, I'm so hands-on. I do a lot of things for my foundation, LeRoy Butler Foundation. We give money directly to women who are struggling with breast cancer. This is Breast Cancer Month. I do my own speaking engagements, LeRoy Butler Inc. Incorporated. You know, I got 5 people employed, and I'm very busy. I got a consulting firm as well. And for the most part, Wisconsin has been so good to me, and I like to do the same for Wisconsin.
What are you doing for the Kettle campaign?
I'm glad you asked, because the Salvation Army to me is different. They're the biggest social network in the world when it comes to families, for everything you've done. And it reminded me when I was 9 years old, I go to a Salvation Army kind of a thing to get toys. And when I got there, something caught my eye. It wasn't the toys, it was a pair of shoes. And I went over there and I asked this volunteer, whose shoes are those? She said, if they're your size, you can have them. I said, ma'am, I can get the funny paper from the newspaper and put them in a tote and make them my size. Can I have them? And she said, yeah, they're yours. All the other kids went to the toys. I got the pair of shoes. I go to the school the next day. It seemed to help me with bullying, because every day the kids would bully me based on how I dressed. But even those guys were smart enough to say, he has nice shoes on, we should leave him alone. So there's a correlation. How does the Salvation Army fit with me? We got so many things. We got toy drives coming up, coat drives for kids. But November 2nd, I'll be hosting with Frank Sinatra Jr. a great event at the Pabst Theater. I get a chance to dress up a little bit and get a chance to raise money for some beautiful, beautiful activities.
It sounds like you're very, very busy.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you miss football?
No, and here's why I don't. I've learned from where I came from in the inner city, I probably beat the odds. And I'm not going to torment myself every Sunday and say, I wish I could have. I played 12 years. And I've done a lot of great things. I've met a lot of people. I made a lot of money. You know, my family's did a great thing. I love watching it like fans do. I throw stuff at the television. I yell just like everybody else. The last week against Indianapolis, that last drive, I'm yelling and screaming. I'm a fan now. And I do get a chance to ultimately talk about it on radio. I'm a sports commentator, you know, at a local radio station in Milwaukee.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're a fan like everybody else now, and you're sitting on the couch screaming and yelling like everybody else now. And I'm also glad to hear about your book, the title of which is LeRoy Butler is Leaping into Your Kitchen Again. If you can read, you can cook. Yeah. A cookbook for everybody, including men, which I like a lot. Thank you very much for coming and joining us.
It was my pleasure.
Next week, we'll tell you how you can win a copy of LeRoy Butler's cookbook. But this week, we need to remind you that there is still time to enter our contest to win tickets to see the Milwaukee Rep's production of Blues in the Night. We have 4 pairs of tickets to give away to viewers who can answer correctly this question: who is considered the mother of the blues? If you know the answer, call us at 414-297-7556 or email us at tvviewer.org. We need the answer to the question. We need your name, your address, and phone number to make you eligible to win the tickets. If you've been a contest winner in the last year, well, you're not eligible this time. The contest closes at 6 p.m. Sunday, November 4th. And that's our program for this week. For Black Nouveau, I'm Joanne Williams. Thanks for watching, and good night.